So you should both be live. How are you both doing?
I am half asleep, but I will do this.
Yeah. We're pretty okay here.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Zelo. I'm some guy that loves to speedrun games. You might have seen the Pump Showcase last week. Well, I do other games as well, especially one of my favorites. This is Doom 64 right here. Great follow-up to the PC Doom games made by Midway back in 1997 under id Software supervision. More specifically, this is the 2020 re-release done by Night Dive Studios, and it's a great port of the original game with a lot of good quality of life features and one very special thing that I'll talk about in just a second. But before we get to that, I have my wonderful friend and commentator, Ellie, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Ellie. I used to speedrun this game, the remake, rather. The main campaign, which we're not doing today. We're going to do the new level set called the Lost Levels. It's going to be on Watch Me Die Speed, which is basically the ultra-violent equivalent, and speed being 90%. So I'm sure Zelo's going to do great.
I'm glad you have confidence, because right now they've been tearing me up, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Oh, that is the wrong thing. Let me just jump back to the main menu. So, like we said, Lost Levels is an additional level set. It's unlocked once you are able to either finish the main campaign or do any of the special alternate conditions, like access the features menu or such. So, this is an extremely difficult level set made by Kaiser, specifically for the 2020 re-release. It is the most difficult category in the game right here with Watch Me Die Speed. So I'm hoping this will go okay, but we're going to go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so Plant Ops first level, I think really sets the tone for this run. Overall, it's much shorter than the usual campaign, but the combat and level layout is a lot tougher. There's a lot of monster death triggers, such as this first switch, so a lot of combat's going to be mandatory, and very nice not taking damage during that little swamp area. This whole area can get tricky with a lot of hit scanners, but we do have the chain gun for our troubles. Jumping down to the runway, we get a super shotgun. This is definitely the workhorse of the game, with nearly the best damage output. It does have a slow reload, but on average it's about as powerful as a direct hit rocket. And speaking of some important ammo, is like premium throughout the run, like rockets, so what we can pick up is very important. We're actually going to pick up a bunch at the end of this first level, and it's going to carry us for a while. And speaking of weapons, there's a few small distinctions from the PC games if you're familiar. For example, the chain gun fires a lot faster, but the rocket launcher fires slightly slower. Rocket launcher and super shotgun actually have recoil, but you almost never notice it in a speedrun since you're moving constantly. We're going to be doing a lot of back and forth here with key collecting, lots of revisiting areas. After this yellow door, we're going to hug the outside wall to avoid a trigger that spawns some enemies. There's actually another monster kill trigger coming up with the Cacos that raises these side stairs, and here's where we pick up a ton of rockets that I mentioned earlier. At this point, it's just a dash for the exit on the other side of this bridge, which could be pretty dangerous with some hard-hitting enemies and no armor.
Well, at least that went okay first.
Yeah, good health going into it. Evil Sacrifice, already done with the tech aesthetic, moving right into the hell aesthetic here. Thankfully the start doesn't have hit scanners, and there's a few med kits if we need them. A tight room coming up with a few Hell Knights, which can get pretty scary. So up here, after the Hell Knights and after this lift, we're going to hit a switch early with the chain gun to open up the secret, which has a lot of good resources. We're going to see that in a bit. So on the way back, there's going to be a monster spawn trigger we skip by getting a specific angle set up. If you're at just the right spot, you can essentially get your hitbox over the line without it ever touching it.
This might take a few tries, so we'll see here. It's a very specific setup, because I need to go to a very specific angle and spot, and then I need to stop at a very specific angle and spot. I didn't get it first try. This is really tricky to do. Come on. Like, you can get the angle consistent, but the positioning is very, very precise. So we're going to access this very early secret and get armor. Armor is very important because Mega Armor reduces all damage by half while it's active, and we take a lot of damage, especially on this level.
Yeah, it is also very worth it to get that monster trigger skip because we go back and forth in that courtyard a ton of times. So let's see, Pain Elementals, probably the most dangerous enemy in the game. We saw a few of them there. They could spit out 2 lost souls at a time, which are very aggressive. Chain guns are pretty good for stun locking. Whatever you do, don't try and body block them as you would in PC, because for whatever reason, failed lost soul spawns, they act as rocket splash damage, and they can kill you very fast.
Yeah, it was a change made specifically for 64. They didn't want them to be trivial anymore, and they are very not trivial. Oh, nice bump on the Soul Sphere. I found that recently.
Alright, so this one coming up, well, we actually already saw first Arachnotron. They behave also a bit differently than the Doom 2 counterparts, so they shoot 2 plasma bolts at a time instead of 1, and they pause between firing every 5 shots to show, so it's not a consistent volley of shots. Here when we get the blue key, we might get lucky with some spawn blocks that happen upon grabbing it. We talked earlier about skipping monster triggers, and the same applies here. Basically, if you or another monster is over the spawn position, it'll silently fail, so we want to try and minimize that. Yeah, getting the BFG there from a secret switch.
This is bad. This is bad. That was really bad on the pain elemental. So I have to kill all 4 pain elementals in order to spawn the key, and we don't want to take a whole bunch of splash damage like we did just now, so hopefully we're going to get out okay this time. Okay, just managed to squeeze out.
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, picking up a bunch more rockets here. Okay.
And of course the one after kills me, of course. It's such a troll.
The snipe.
Yeah, this is like the most dangerous room in the early game of this campaign by far. This is a lot of resets involved. And there's no fast way to do this because there are a ton of Arachnotrons that also spawn in as well, so it's never safe. You're never home free.
That room keeps up the pressure for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna save right there in case this elemental decides to blow me away again. Okay. Now we should be good getting to the exit.
Yeah. Is this a good time to talk about the BFG real quick, or?
Why don't you talk about strafing, since we haven't really talked about movement.
Oh yeah, strafing, so, you mostly go diagonal when you go, for speedrun strats. It just goes faster and it adds, like, your strafing, like sidestepping, and forward momentum together. There's no, like, SR50, though, like it is in Doom 2, where you, like, lock 4 keys in, I believe. It's still pretty fast, though. And that helps us blind depth triggers.
Yeah, it's 28% faster to run this way as opposed to just walking forward, so it's very much worth it over the course of a run.
Yeah. Yeah, here we have a Cold Grounds 3rd level. We have a castle motif, which is very prominent in the original campaign. So we're getting hitting a few switches to open up the red key, and we're gonna get an invincibility soon since it's pretty much on the way.
I will say this is definitely the most chaotic level in the level set. It's not the hardest, but everything in this campaign is really hard.
Yeah, there can be so much like roaming enemies around. Lots of Cacos, lots of Lost Souls, Pain Elementals, all the floaty boys. Alright, so I believe we're coming up on the red key here.
Yeah, hopefully I'm going to have some extra rockets. I'm going to soften up some enemies for later. I'm going to try and use some rockets to soften up some enemies for later, because there's a really nasty trap near the end with 2 Hell Knights and a Baron that like to get loose. So we can soften them up with a few rockets to weaken their HP, and then we can blow them away later when we get in a better position. Wow, that imp really did not want to cooperate.
Yeah, honestly, on Watch Me Die, everything kind of hits like a truck, so pretty much in constant danger throughout the run.
Yeah, there's really no safe part in this at all. So we're going to try and clear out a few Cacodemons as well, because we do need to revisit this area, kind of. And it's better to just get rid of everything now.
Yeah, luckily we have both an Invuln and a Berserk to top us off to 100, so in a little bit less danger for now.
Okay, the Pain Elementals are gone now. We do have a big room coming up here. Why don't you talk about key bumping, though, since that comes up at the end of this.
Yeah, so key bumping, kind of similar to a trigger skip, line def skip rather, in that if you have enough speed, you can get into the wall for like a game tick or so before getting ejected back out, and that lets our hitbox touch the blue key. So we do part of the puzzle,
There
and
we
then
go.
we bump it for the very nice. And hopefully this, I was gonna say
Yeah.
hopefully the corridor will be free.
Yeah, I've had that pinky just come around the corner and intercept my rocket point blank range. That's a lot of fun. It's funny for sure. Oh, the Baron didn't even come out this time. Okay, well, that's kind of awkward. Okay, we can
the
still get through
doors-
this, okay.
The door is surprisingly barren, you might say.
Ah. Alright, into Wretched Vent. I don't have a lot of health starting this, because I took a Fireball at the very end. Like, Fireballs from Baron and Hell Knights, they do anywhere from like 10 to 80 damage. Like, we didn't really talk about the RNG in this game, but there is a lot of luck involved in just about everything.
Yeah, the main RNG, I would say, comes from just the damage output on both monsters giving damage to you and you doing damage to monsters. It can vary so much. I think there's a bit of downtime here. If Ori wants to, has anything they have to say?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So just a reminder to everyone, we do have the incentives open if you'd like to donate towards charity. Right now we have a bid war open between Hatoful Boyfriend and Perfect Date. So if you'd like to see either bird dating game or cat dating game, it's your choice which one it is, then please do get donations in towards bid war. And finally as well, tomorrow we've got the Tunic randomizer coming up between myself and TGH. So if you'd like to see us forced to play that in big head mode, which I believe there is a gigantic head mode actually in the randomizer now. So if you'd like to see that, potentially, I need to find more details on that, but if you'd like to see us get gigantic heads, then please do donate towards that target as well. That'll be open until kind of midway through the Tunic randomizer tomorrow.
Alright, got another important line def skip coming up. I mean, it's not really so much a skip, but we're going to try and slip under a door before it closes on us, and that's going to let us leave before we get trapped in somewhere.
Yeah, normally
Rockets.
once you pick up this blue key here, all the doors around it close, and
There we go.
there's
Nice.
just a bunch of dart traps. Yeah, nice. I think you can be safe in like the corners, but it still wastes a bunch of time if you're trapped in there.
Yeah, and then you also don't get ahead of all the enemies that would spawn ahead, so then you just get even more trapped.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the Barons got blocked by the imp. Nice. That's extremely rare. Alright, big set of monster triggers in here. We got a bunch of Arachnotrons to kill, but we need to clear out these Lost Souls first because they're way too dangerous to throw rockets around.
Yeah. They're way faster when they attack on 64s compared to BC.
Yeah, it was actually a code change. Like, they are actually confirmed, like, extra aggressive in this game. And it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah, now we got the lift here, going up to the upper level. After we take out those corner Arachnotrons. So, luckily, there's a supercharge right around the corner here, I believe. So,
Yeah, but I gotta at least get to it first, and this room's not free. I almost got scratched by the imp on the way through. Like, I had no
nice.
armor either, so pretty much anything would have killed me. You were saying I'm quick saving a lot. This campaign really is just that scary.
yep.
Oh, that is a huge roadblock. Okay. All the Hell
too
Knights
bad.
managed to follow me all the way back.
Alright, now we got all three keys. We prep a BFG shot, clear out the room,
Oh,
get the heck out of here. Woo!
one
Nice.
input still alive. That was scary.
Alright, so penultimate level here, Thy Glory. This one's brutal. Lots of monster kill triggers in this one, right off the bat with these Arachnotrons.
I got killed by an imp fireball of all things. Wow. Pretty rare. Why are these Arachnotrons not dying in 3?
That's RNG for you.
It really is. Alright, now we're good. Hey, this is the longest level in the campaign, but I no longer find this one the hardest in this category. Outside of, like, the very beginning. Once you get past a certain point, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I think you said Cold Grounds. You figure is the hardest one now.
I think I struggle more on Wretched Bat now. Like there's just so much that can go wrong. Anywhere from Evil Sacrifice to the end of Wretched Bat, anything can go wrong and you just die instantly in this category.
Yeah. Can get pretty cramped in a lot of these levels.
Alright, so we've got big secret that we need coming up.
I think you examine like a little pike here, and then shoot a switch back in the corridor, and then that reveals Mega Armors themselves, and that's Mega Armors very welcome here.
I saw the Cacos got in the room. That was extra scary. I thought I was going to get trapped in there. Yeah, this room is extremely chaotic.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time here as well.
Oh god. I do not like this. I'm actually going to jump off. Oh, never mind. I'm just going to get blasted by an Arachnotron, I guess. Okay, let's try this a little bit differently here. Let's do this.
I believe this level's the first instance of Incubus as well, if I remember right.
Which is really odd, being the penultimate level.
Yeah, they more or less paid the same in Doom 64 compared to PC, so there's no change there. We do have to watch out for those windows, though. They can fire turrets now after we got the yellow key. They essentially act as Revenant missiles, which can, I think, deal anywhere from 10 to 80 damage?
Yeah, it's a lot. At least the scary part's mostly over, but we do have another key bump coming up, and that one's been kind of finicky lately because you can get intercepted by enemies, so we're going to hopefully not get too beat up here.
Yeah, for this key bump, it's kind of a one-shot deal, like quick saving aside, because you're on like a tall ledge and you have to like key bump it as you fall down. So it is very critical that just the way it's cleared for it.
So everything in this room needs to die, and then we're going to prep the BFG. We're going because a bunch of pain elementals spawned earlier, so we're going to take some preemptive shots to clear everything out. And we have a quick path. That should be good. Alright, let's see. Hopefully this will go okay. There we go. First try. Nice. There's one other thing that's out of your control. There are some Cacos back in the starting area behind the grated windows. They can launch fireballs from back there and throw you off, and there's really nothing you can do about it if that happens.
I mean, I think from here it's just getting the red key, doing a little traversing down some underground levels. Probably a good time for anything that Ori might have to say as well.
Yep, sure. So I can just go over the charity briefly again. We are raising money in Adolf. We've been doing this since last Thursday.
Oh, come on, get out of the way.
So we're going for... Sorry, go ahead. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we are raising money in aid of Mermaids, a UK charity who basically supports trans, non-binary and gender diverse youth up to the age of 20, as well as for families. So they provide support in the form of helplines, as well as online forums that are secure, and other community groups as well. Also, very nice level.
I had a death exit, which is fine, because I don't need any equipment to start this level. So, this is the very last level. It's going to get very loud. So we need to pick up all 3 demon artifacts, which actually upgrade the Unmaker we just picked up, making it pump faster and fire more lasers. But that's actually going to be our key in order to spawn the mother demon at the very end. And killing her ends the level. And this level is normally very chaotic, especially if you're playing a max category. But it's pretty trivial in speed, as long as I don't get hit by Cyber Demon rockets. So there are 4 Cyber Demons that end up showing up by the end of this.
Yeah, I think 1 at the start and 1 per artifact that you pick up that spawns in.
Yep, so now we have the BFG. We didn't really talk about it, but the best way to use the BFG is to just run up to them, give them a big fiery hug, just like that. And we're gonna go to the...
melted.
Yeah, let's see, can we punch the Cyber Demon? I was gonna stay inside. Well, that is time right there.
Time.
So
GG's.
I've got a 1732 on my end. For a marathon run, that's fine. This category is extremely volatile, so I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah, GG.
I mean, it's cold. Yeah, I mean, it's cold watch you die, so you know, we watched a bit of that anyway.
Yeah, we did get that. Since we have a little bit of extra time, I'm gonna give y'all a little bonus content since we were like way underestimate.
Yeah, go ahead.
So-
Go ahead.
Let me show off something that I always like to show off. Oh, by the way, this ending ties the story into Doom 2016. It's like the Slayer just remains in hell, and you have a path to do. But anyways, I have the save file prepared. So this is actually the layer in the main campaign. We didn't see this, but this is one of the secret levels, and this has something very special you can do. So due to how the scripts in this level work, there's a little quirk with it. There's actually an out of bounds trigger that we're going to access. So I'm going to get on. I got onto this ledge that you're really not supposed to be able to get up to. And we're going to put ourselves in a very specific position here once these lost souls leave me alone. So we're going to try and get to a part of the area that doesn't have collision. I don't think I'm in the right spot. Let's try that again. Like I said, this is an extremely precise trick. Okay, so now we're off the back of the castle right there. And you can see the nice, pretty mountain texture. And I will say, Midway did really great with their texturing and touching these in. Like the backgrounds and everything is gorgeous still. So we spy this. What if I want to make these mountains change? So I did. So there's an invisible out-of-bounds exit trigger that's related to the scripts in this level, and that script points to a level that doesn't exist, which would normally send you to the ending in the OG version of the game, in the original 64 console version. I think it does something even funnier in this version. We broke hell so hard it kicks us back to the main menu. And with that is Doom 64. I hope you all have enjoyed. Thanks, Ori, for having me on for both this and Pump. And I will quickly plug, if you want to see more Doom 64, I will be playing the main campaign, Watch Me Die Speed, at Summer Games Done Quick, late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Check the schedule depending on how it is. But if you really want to see me die some more, I'll be on in just a few days again. But with that, I will leave it back to Ori. Thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, if either of you have any more announcements or anything that you'd like to make before we move on to the next showcase.
I think that's about it. Just donate for mermaids.
All right. Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much once again, both of you, for that. That was a great speedrun, and yeah, I could not do that myself, but thank you once again. So yeah, we're going to go to BRB screen just now. Make sure you do follow Zulu. I don't remember how many L's around your name. There we go. Yeah, make sure you do go and follow Zero if you get a chance. But yeah, we're going to go to BRB and we'll be back with some Celeste, and that'll be a speedrun of any percent by myself in just 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you shortly.